Good afternoon. We're almost there. Final race of the season. It hasn't felt like a really long season, actually. It's gone by very, very fast. I think when Max Verstappen was winning everything, the championship was over from an early stage, and it's just been plain sailing to an extent. A couple of things still to wrap up in the championship. Of course, today there's second place in the constructors' championship, which I think is a biggie. Leclerc nicely placed in second place, so we'll be going for Ferrari, hoping that they're going to do very well today. You'll notice I'm not wearing Ferrari colours today. Just don't want to jinx it. Don't want to jinx it. I didn't do a watch along for the last race. However, I did wear my Ferrari t-shirt, and they did come second. I know he started in first, but still, he was up against the Red Bulls, beat one Red Bull. J Gaming 23. Hi to you, J Gaming. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Who do you think is going to win the race? My predictions, well, Max Verstappen is probably going to win the race. My wish for today's race is Leclerc, and I think the dark horse has to be Norris. They've looked, they being McLaren, they've looked fast all weekend. Norris did not have a good qualifying yesterday. Piastri has put himself in third place. I think this is the one. Norris needs to do something. He needs to do something. This season could be a great season for him if he can manage to finally pull it together. So we'll see. We'll see indeed. Now, they're doing the formation lap as we speak. Talking about formation lap, let's have a look at the grid. Welcome to the channel, and how are you doing? Sound and video, all good. Brilliant. Whew. I was worried for a second when I saw sound and video. I was like, oh, don't tell me I've just been talking to myself for the last 2 or 3 minutes. But no, apparently not. Verstappen or Leclerc, says J Gaming. Okay. Good safe bet. I wonder if could we see any. Look, George Russell has looked very fast as well this weekend, but it's very hard to see beyond the Red Bull winning, isn't it? Now we have Logan Sargent starting in 20th. Is this his last race in Formula One? Remains to be seen. I think he'll be back next season. I think Williams will sign him up. He has been pretty good the last few races. Of course, starting in 20th today definitely doesn't help that hypothesis. We have Zhou in 19th, Bottas 18th, Magnussen 17th. Very disappointing qualifying for Sainz in 16th. A little bit of talking going on there between Ricciardo and Sainz about blocking. Ricciardo then starts in 15th, Albon 14th, Stroll 13th, Ocon 12th, Hamilton 11th, Gasly 10th, Perez 9th, Hülkenberg 8th, Alonso 7th, Tsunoda 6th, Norris 5th, Russell 4th, Piastri 3rd, Leclerc 2nd, and Verstappen in 1st place. And well, I need to do a shout out. So as I said, Sainz, bad qualifying yesterday. Ricciardo, disappointing to see him down in 15th when you consider his teammate is in 6th place. Hülkenberg had a very good qualifying to put himself in 8th. Disappointing again from Perez. He did have the lap time deleted during qualifying, but he was only going to qualify in about 5th, if I remember correctly. Gasly, Ocon, okay. Hamilton, yeah, he'll be disappointed with his qualifying outside of the top 10, and Stroll, by comparison to his teammate, once again, disappointing. And Stroll was looking like he was going to do something more recently, getting back into it. My God, there's all the Hemsworth brothers. Well, 2 of them. How many Hemsworths are there? I think there are maybe 3, maybe 4 actually, maybe 4. Sargent lucky to be in the race as he did not qualify due to track limits on both laps in Q1. That's absolutely correct, Anne. Yeah, in Q3 he had both of his lap times deleted for track limits. So track limits will become an issue again at this race. Unfortunately, it's becoming a very unhealthy theme, I would say, in Formula One. But whether we'll see time penalties applied today, yeah, actually, I don't know. I guess it's all there ahead of us. Now, they're lining up on the grid. We're getting ready to go. The excitement, it looks like everybody is starting on the medium tire except for Stroll, Sainz, and Bottas all starting on the hard tire. Everybody else is on medium, so it's probably a one-stopper for all of them. Now, getting ready to go. The green flag is waving. 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we're off. It looks like a good start from Verstappen. Leclerc has gotten a nice start though. Will he have the inside line? No, Verstappen is closing the door. But that's Piastri then, who also has a good start. Norris and Russell running side by side there. And Hamilton getting past Perez. Did he go off the track to make that move? I'm not sure. He'll get away with it anyway. It's at the very start of the race. It looks relatively calm at the front. There we have Verstappen leading. Leclerc, oh, he's getting close. He's looking at possibly going past Piastri's in third. Norris now is up into fourth. Russell has dropped down into fifth place. Alonso's up one into sixth. Tsunoda's down one to seventh. And there's Leclerc fighting with Verstappen down the inside line. Oh, this is going to be close. This is going to be close. And Verstappen just about manages to hold on there. So it was the inside line for Leclerc that became the outside line going into the next corner. And Verstappen just about managed to hold on. But Leclerc is going to fight him again as we're coming down to the straight. Oh, Verstappen has closed the door. Some very good racing here between these two. And I don't want to jinx it, but it doesn't look like they're ever going to crash when they come together. It's fair fighting by the looks of it. I've heard criticism, though, of Max Verstappen, not being a great wheel-to-wheel racer. But, when you're out in front that much, just like Lewis Hamilton used to be a few years ago, he got very rusty on the old overtaking. Now, let's calm down, take a breath. Piastri is closing in on Leclerc now as well. It's been a very good start by the looks of a very clean start. Yuki Tsunoda has made up a position. Somebody's dropping down. Hülkenberg. Is it Hülkenberg is dropping down? Not sure. The AlphaTauri is still with the kind of a zebra setup in terms of the livery that they're using. Oh, I really wanted Leclerc to get past Verstappen here, because if Verstappen starts to pull away, I can only see this race going in one way. Good news, with this being the last race of the season, I would be very hopeful now that we see a number of these cars crank up the engine mode to the last. Nothing to save the engines for anymore. I actually suspect Ferrari did that in the last race, and hopefully they're doing that in this race. I think Mercedes have nothing to lose either. Just go for it. Russell kind of hinted at that during the pre-race interview. It would be great. It would be great if it were a very tight race. Four-way. Mercedes, McLaren, Ferrari, Red Bull. Hamilton is up into 9th, by the way. Perez is now down to 10th. Sainz is up into 13th. So he's getting closer and closer to the points. Of course, on the hard tire as well. So he'll be running a slightly different strategy from the rest of the drivers. We, of course, should have some team radios coming in as well. We have a team radio from Logan Sargent.
Why are my switches changing on their own? My diff mid's freaking out.
Okay, just check you're happy with the steering wheel. It's latched.
Yeah, as ever, not really sure what the heck is going on there. But, yeah. Yuki Tsunoda in 6th and Daniel Ricciardo in 15th. Just seeing a tweet come in there from AlphaTauri. So a solid start for them. Yeah, that's both of their cars actually now holding the position they started the race in. So no losing or gaining positions. Yuki Tsunoda did lose a position from the start, but it does look like somebody fell down the field. Hülkenberg certainly fell down the field a little bit. He was behind Tsunoda to start with, though. Perez has just overtaken Hamilton here. Perez gets by Hamilton. Oh, all the rumors and all the talk about Hamilton potentially speaking with Red Bull and speaking with Ferrari and everything that's coming out during the week. Is Hamilton really that unhappy with the Mercedes at the moment? It looks to me like a much better car than last year. Maybe he's just fed up with it. George Russell seems to be doing pretty well in the car at the moment, but the last few races just hasn't been where Lewis Hamilton has wanted it to be. He has big time struggled with it in the last few races. It feels like, I don't know what it is. I think the weight of expectation is the big problem that Hamilton has had over the last few races, because you could see that the Mercedes was gaining ground. It was making up time, making up speed, and it appeared like they were having quite a good race package at several races. And then come the Brazilian Grand Prix, I think it was, where it was anticipated that they were going to do very well, and they were just kind of nowhere. They were just nowhere. So I think they're a little bit miffed about the performance of the car. Here's the onboard with Sergio Perez. Yeah, Hamilton definitely overtook him off the track. And I guess Perez is going to say, Lewis went out in turn 1. Yeah, Perez says that. I noticed that actually at the start. I did notice that, but at the beginning of the race, you really put it down as a racing incident, don't you? So they're probably not going to look at that at all. Regardless, though, Perez got the position back, so I think we're all fair now. Let's have a look at the gaps here. So it's 1.5 seconds now, the gap between Verstappen and Leclerc. That's the one I was really worried about, and I think that's going to be significant. Unfortunately, DRS is enabled as well, as you can see on race control here. This is on board now, number 4. This is Lando Norris pulling the move on his teammate. I missed out on that one earlier, actually. Just the two orange cars, it clearly didn't catch my eye. He was looking much faster than his teammate at one point, so I was wondering if there would be team orders or what was going to happen. But that's Norris then up into 3rd place, and he is now 0.8 of a second behind Leclerc. So it could well be Norris is the man who has to put the battle up to Verstappen today. And that's my prediction. As I was saying, my prediction for the race is Verstappen to win. My wish for the race is Leclerc to win, and my dark horse for the race is Lando Norris. So that's the top 3 at the moment. Long way to go yet. Long way to go. 5 laps in. 5 laps in. Let me know your predictions for the race. I know, Anne, anytime you predict, you're usually pretty much bang on with your predictions. There or thereabouts. Very, very close. Very close with your predictions always, I find. The fastest man. Yeah, Norris has set the fastest lap. And the last lap around was the fastest lap. What do his sectors look like at the moment? His sectors are slower. Piastri's last sectors are looking good. They're fast for him. His middle sector, sector 2 in particular, has been quite a bit faster than his teammate. About 0.4 of a second. Well, 3.5 of a second faster. But that's through one sector, so that's a lot of time. And then his third sector, isn't quite as fast. Oh well, these things happen. There's a long way to go, as I say. Do we have any interesting stats up for grabs today? I know that Max Verstappen, if he wins today, there will be a number of records on offer. If I can find the records. 53. So he's 53 wins. Who's that? Magnussen has pitted. Okay. Magnussen has pitted now. He was on the medium tires, so I'm guessing he's going to have switched over onto the hard tire. He has indeed switched over onto the hard tire. So Magnussen has pitted and he's running in last place now. Max Verstappen and Sebastian Vettel both have 53 race wins. So I think there's a very high chance that Max Verstappen will beat that today and take it to 54, which would make him the 3rd highest winner of all time in Formula 1. We have Lewis Hamilton on 103 race wins, and we have Michael Schumacher on 91 race wins. So quite a bit to go before he catches either of them. But looking at his age and looking at how Red Bull are going at the moment, it's possible, it's doable. Of course, that assumes that the Red Bull will be as powerful next year and the year after as it is at the moment, and we'd like to think that won't be the case, relative to the rest of the grid. What I will say though is Verstappen is probably the best driver on the grid, so even if he has a competitive car in any way, he'll be pushing for race wins. So that's one record to be on the lookout for. Another record then, if there is one here. Oh yes, of course. Red Bull last time out took the 20th race win of a season, which is already a record in itself, and that's a 90.91% win ratio. Oh my goodness. Unbelievable. Beating the 2016 or 2016, whatever way you're inclined to say that, Mercedes record, which was 90.48%, 19 out of 21 races won. And so for Red Bull, they have won 20 out of 22, Piastri and Russell really battling here, and Russell almost through on Piastri, but Piastri takes back the position. But now you can see that Russell is running, it's just under 0.3 of a second behind Piastri at the moment. Ricardo is having trouble with one of his tear-offs in the air duct. Let's listen to the team radio.
Possible tear-off in one of the front ducts. We are checking. We may have to take some actions. I'll keep you posted.
Okay, understood. Keep me posted.
Oh, that's not great. That is not great. Turn 7 incident involving Guan Yu Zhou and Alex Albon noted, forcing another driver off the track. And the same warning then for Sargent and Magnussen, forcing another driver off the track. So I'm going to have to keep my eyes peeled on this one. See how it goes. So 20 out of 22 races won by Red Bull. I thought they had won all but one. I guess that includes the race that was cancelled. Which seems a little bit unfair, doesn't it? It seems a little bit unfair. But anyway, the stat is amazing regardless. And then looking at the pole position stats, so Max Verstappen had his 32nd pole position yesterday, which takes him to 8th highest of all time. And he's actually equal now with Nigel Mansell. Alain Prost and Jim Clark have 33 pole positions, so he can go as high as 5th at the start of next season, assuming he gets pole position. And then Seb Vettel is all the way up on 57 pole positions in 4th. Senna, 65 pole positions in 3rd. Schumacher, 68 pole positions in 2nd. And Hamilton with 104 pole positions in 1st place, which is a crazy stat, isn't it, when you consider that Hamilton has won, is it 103 races? So he's one more pole position than race wins. Crazy. That's a great return. That's a great return. Hamilton is a fast driver, that's for sure. Speaking of Hamilton, so he's running in 10th at the moment. He's currently behind Perez. And that gap is, it's 0.3 of a second. It's 0.7 of a second, sorry, looking at the wrong line. And then Perez is 0.3 of a second behind Gasly, who's 0.8 of a second behind Alonso, who's 0.8 of a second behind Tsunoda. So a bit of a train going on there. We're just seeing Perez now try to pull the move on Gasly, but it doesn't pay off this time. Of course, Gasly will have DRS as well. Dave's Cosplay Photography 1. Welcome back, Dave. Verstappen wins the last race easy. Well, so far, so good. 1.3 seconds is the gap, so it's not super easy, but he's out of DRS range, so that will work very well for him. I'm secretly hoping, that the Ferraris, McLarens, Mercedes have all the ability to switch up their engines to the maximum today and give the Red Bulls a really good race. We've about 50 laps to go to see whether or not that's the case, but yeah, good start for Verstappen, good clean start, and pits will be interesting. It'll be interesting. I wonder if there's an undercut or something like that that can come into play for Leclerc. Norris, of course, putting Leclerc under pressure as well. It's dropped off a little bit now. It's gone back to over a second. It's 1.2 seconds now between Leclerc and Norris. So Norris is out of DRS range again. And then Piastri is running in 4th, 1.8 seconds behind his teammate. Russell, 0.6 of a second behind Piastri. So Piastri facing a lot of pressure from Russell. That Mercedes, as I keep saying, has been fast this weekend. Certainly for Russell. Hamilton, he's struggled a bit more, hasn't he? He has struggled, and he is struggling at the moment because he's in that train of cars trying to get past Yuki Tsunoda, I think, is the cork in the bottle there. But Tsunoda is only 1.2 seconds behind Russell, so it's still all very tight. Only 10 laps down so far. Verstappen is so fast, says Paula Schwartzman. He is pretty damn fast. He is indeed. Hard to catch Verstappen. This is what I think. It'll be hard to catch Verstappen. It'll be another thing to overtake Verstappen and then to keep him behind you, because that Red Bull, I noticed through the races, it goes through phases. They're managing their tires for a certain amount of time, and then they turn up the engine a bit, and then they go for it, and but if we can have a tight race like the last race, that would be very, very welcome. Leclerc, Perez, and Verstappen. It's unfortunate I didn't do a watch along for the last race because I was flipped out on the last lap. It was great. I really enjoyed that the dive bomb move by Charles Leclerc, coming towards the end of the final lap to get second place away from Carlos Sainz. I tell you, Carlos Sainz must be feeling deja vu. He's been so close to second place the last 2 races, just missing out to Alonso first time, and then Leclerc, of course, at the Vegas race last weekend. Vegas was on at 6 a.m. my time, so I did consider getting up for it. I hate to admit it, but I'm usually up at around 6 a.m. every day anyway, as it is. But, you know, it was a Sunday morning, and I just wanted to take it easy. And there's the move now. Russell is through. Russell is up into 4th place. Sorry, he's gotten past Piastri. Now, Piastri feeling the pressure. Russell now 2.3 seconds behind Norris. Can he close down Norris? That's the question. Norris dropping back a little bit from Leclerc. Now it's up to 2 seconds, the gap. 2 seconds, and let's do a check-in on Verstappen. 1.3 seconds, so it's remaining pretty consistent actually between Verstappen and Leclerc. So whether that's just Verstappen controlling it or Leclerc keeping enough of a gap from Verstappen so that, you know, the car doesn't overheat essentially. Yeah, and I noticed, Paula, you said Verstappen is too fast. Not that he's even so fast. Well, he's too fast. He's too fast. Verstappen is saying right front. We have the team radio. This is probably it. So he's having tire issues.
Right front is slowly getting a bit hard.
Okay, understood.
Right front is getting slowly hurt. Kimmy Phoenix, welcome back to the channel. Kimmy, you're saying Vegas was a disaster. Personally, I didn't enjoy any of it. It's hard for me to quantify whether I enjoyed it or not, because of course Leclerc started on pole position and ultimately finished in second, so it wasn't it wasn't anything to get too excited about. There's Perez now. He's gotten past Gasly, so that was a very important move for Perez. Puts him up into 8th place, and he will now try to chase down Alonso, 1.1 seconds behind Alonso at the moment. Well, the Vegas race. So, firstly, I just kind of watched it on my own. Tried to get my young son interested in it or get him excited about it. He was meh. He had varying degrees of excitement. He's a big Red Bull fan, which definitely doesn't help. Big Max Verstappen fan. Which is great, isn't it? In the current environment, to be a Max Verstappen fan, because he's doing so well. But if Leclerc didn't have that dive bomb overtake in the last lap, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed the race as much. I probably wouldn't have. It was a fascinating race, but I do hate the races that are more about the celebs on the grid than the actual race. And who was it did the checkered flag? Was it? I think it might have been Justin Bieber. They got to do the checkered flag. But that's, for me, automatic eye roll anytime they're doing that kind of rubbish. As long as the person doesn't wave the flag one lap too early, as I think we've had in the past. Can't remember who it was on that particular day that did that. But that tells you everything you need to know about that race. So it does. And the whole build up to the race as well, where they were blocking out views for general admin fans or people who are staying in hotels. If you didn't pay a certain amount to the race, then you weren't allowed to watch the race. And it's just craziness. Absolute craziness. The turmoil it caused for local residents in Las Vegas, they were very unhappy about that. And then, given that this is going to be happening apparently for the next 9 years, so it's a 10-year contract they put in place. Oh, wow. The Biebs did the flag. Yes, indeed. My daughter actually calls him, she's quite young and she doesn't really know who Justin Bieber is. She calls him Justin Bieber. I like that name, Justin Bieber. The model, when someone did the flag early, poor darling. Oh, okay. I think I know who this was. Yes. Win. Um. Yeah. Winnie. Was it Winnie? Oh, the name is on the tip of my mind. It's on the tip of my mind. It'll come back to me. Winnie Harlow, maybe. Maybe Winnie Harlow. Um. That's a good memory, Kimmy. Good memory. And was it Monaco? It might have been the Monaco Grand Prix that happened at. Um. Yeah. So it's one thing for the. Oh, actually, better get interested in this because look at this. It is Alonso versus Piastri. They've both pitted and they're both running on the hard tires. But Alonso has really gained through the pit stop, or else in case of Piastri has lost a lot in that pit stop. He should have DRS here. They've cut away from it at just the wrong time. Well, there's Alonso trying to go around the outside. Maybe he'll cut around to the inside now. Next time we're coming through here, on board with Alonso. Russell will be coming into the pits now in a second as well. No. Piastri, I would imagine as soon as he gets those tires up to speed, he'll pull away from Alonso. Oh, Norris, tire stuck, and he's lost out to George Russell. George Russell is out ahead of Lando Norris. So it was the rear left tire. They had a lot of trouble in getting that onto Norris's car. And it's just slowed him down enough now that he is behind George Russell. So we're going to have an incredible battle between these two when they come back out. But there's Piastri. Oh, the undercut. It's the undercut here is very powerful. Looked like Piastri kept going straight on there rather than staying on the track, but he did stay on the track. It's just a trick of the camera. But this makes things now very, very close between Alonso. Alonso seems to be the big winner here. Alonso, Piastri, Norris, and Russell all running in 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th at the moment. But out of the pit stop partakers, or the pitties, what could we call them? Out of the cars that have pitted so far, maybe just keep it simple. They are the highest runners right now. Leclerc still running in second, 1.8 seconds now the gap between Verstappen and Leclerc. Not sure Hamilton is on the team radio, but I have no idea what he's saying at all. No idea. I didn't hear it. Did not hear what Hamilton was saying. So maybe it'll come up on our feed and we'll be able to listen to it. But as of right now, it's not there. Hamilton is battling very hard here with Ocon. It looks like he's gotten past Ocon, actually. Has he? According to the tracker, he's past Ocon. Hamilton. Oh, no. They're pitting. Hamilton and Ocon are in the pits. And they're out of the pits now. And Hamilton has managed to come out ahead of Ocon. So he'll be relieved about that at least. So Hamilton and Ocon at the pit exit. And off they go. Just checking the tracker to see how in sync I am here. It looks like, well, fairly in sync. Pierre Gasly, Team Radio, let's listen.
Hamilton, just push me, hit me.
Okay, so that was a battle between Gasly and Hamilton, and then he just so happened to pit with Ocon. But he is ahead of Ocon, which is important for Hamilton. We're going to have Verstappen coming into the pits soon as well, I would say. Where is Verstappen on the track? Yeah, he's just coming around to the start finish now. And has he gone? Yeah, Verstappen's into the pits. Leclerc keeps going. So actually that means that Leclerc is the race leader right now. Can't get too excited about it just yet, but he's within 2 seconds. He's within 2 seconds. Tsunoda up into second place. Go Yuki, says Kimi. Yeah, Yuki Tsunoda running in second place. Bad news for Daniel Ricciardo's future, but yeah, immediately it's like, where's Daniel? Anytime Tsunoda is doing well. Of course Tsunoda still has to pit, but he's been very good this weekend. Very good. Logan has pitted as well, and he is onto the hard tires, I'm hearing. Okay, here's a replay then of the Lando Norris pit stop. So it was 5.1 seconds. So they lost at least 2 seconds on the slow pit. He would have been out ahead of Russell if it wasn't for that slow pit stop. He would have really been out in front of him. That's very unfortunate for Norris. But as we have it right now, we have Leclerc leading the race until he pits. Who knows what type of strategy that these Ferraris will have up their sleeves. It's not unheard of for them to do something crazy. Zero stop race. A zero stop race. Of course, they can't do that. 7 cars have yet to pit, apparently. That's Leclerc now who has pitted. That means Tsunoda is winning the race. Yuki Tsunoda is winning the race. Perez is into the pits as well. Let me very quickly get Leclerc off the screen and get Tsunoda onto the screen, because we do not get to show Yuki Tsunoda as race leader very often. Savor it. Savor it, because we might not see this again for a little while. So Tsunoda remains out there. And Lance Stroll, the legend, is running in second place. Lance Stroll for World Title 2024 running in second place. The battle between Tsunoda and Stroll for the 2024 World Title kicked off during the 2023 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. You saw it here first. This is the future of Formula 1. I wouldn't mind if the future of Formula 1 was Tsunoda versus somebody. If it's Tsunoda versus Stroll, that doesn't hugely excite me. Somehow doesn't hugely excite me. Carlos Sainz up into third place. Of course, Sainz started on the hard tire, so he's probably going to stay out for a good bit longer as well, I would imagine. But yeah, let's savor this moment where we've Yuki Tsunoda leading the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. He has a gap now of 5.7 seconds back to Lance Stroll. And then we have Sainz, who is 2.5 seconds behind Lance Stroll himself. But this is an exciting development. Here's a replay now of Gasly. And that's Gasly getting past one of the Haas cars. And I will confirm for you that it is Hülkenberg. Yes, it's Hülkenberg. I need to learn Hülkenberg and Magnussen's number. That will help me out a lot more. Yes. Yeah, so the back markers are having their day. No, ET Ranger. I would not say Tsunoda was not a back marker. He started in 6th place today. Verstappen has just overtaken Sainz on the track. But Stroll, where did Stroll start? Stroll started at least 13th, maybe a little bit lower. Let me see. So he's up 11 places to second. Yeah, so he started in 13th, and Tsunoda's up 5 places, so he started in 6th. But wow, it's on. We have a race. Stroll on the hard tire as well. So Stroll actually he's going to be out there for a while. And he is currently 2.3 seconds ahead of Verstappen. So if Tsunoda were to pit now, this would make Lance Stroll our race leader. There we go. Tsunoda passed the pit lane again, and he's not going in yet, so he's staying out there. He's on the medium tire, so I really was expecting him to come in, but he's not doing it just yet. So he's going to lead another lap. And fastest lap now for Max Verstappen as he's closing down Lance Stroll. It's down to 1.9 seconds now. Stroll may not get an opportunity to lead this race. Here is Pierre Gasly, Team Radio.
I don't get how you can undercut me with the other car. The leading car, you don't understand. You'll have to explain me, because...
So Esteban is 4.1 ahead. So we'll just focus on tire management. Still a long way to go. We can make this work.
Whoa. Yeah, there was a little bit of fireworks, wasn't there, last time out between the that's Piastri getting past Bottas. A little bit of fireworks last time out in Vegas. Between, looks like Perez got past Ricciardo as well. Between the Alpine drivers, you could feel the tension in the air. You know, that relationship that already non-existent relationship, I would have called it. Hamilton and Gasly, no further action for causing a collision, and that was the earlier incident just before the pit stops of Ocon and Hamilton. But you can feel the tension in the air now between those guys, and it was Ocon was told not to overtake Gasly last time out, and he still overtook him. And now we hear Gasly wanting to know why he was undercut by his teammate, and he's, let me see, he's what is it, 4.1 seconds now behind his teammate. He is peed off. He's really unhappy with this. Really, really unhappy. Now we have a team radio for Leclerc. Perez just sets the fastest lap as well in 11th.
And Sainz will let the by.
Okay, Sainz will let him by, and makes total sense because they're on completely different strategies. And they just played that on the TV now as well. And there goes Leclerc taking the slipstream, taking the DRS. It'll help his lap time as well, and that puts him into 4th place. Verstappen now is 0.4 of a second behind Stroll. So Stroll probably won't get the lead of the race at any point. There goes Verstappen up into 2nd place now. There I was dreaming about being able to show Lance Stroll as the leader of the race. Maybe later on in the race we can still do this, but for now it's not happening. Little bit sad about that. Little bit sad. Missed opportunity. Looks like the sun is going down as well. Huh? Very picturesque. Very picturesque. Yuki Tsunoda comes around to lead another lap. He is 3.4 seconds ahead of Max Verstappen now. Yet to pit though. He has yet to pit. So that is the caveat I will throw in here to the mix. Looking at pitties, or cars that have pitted, as I should say. Bottas hasn't pitted yet, but of course he started on the hard tyre. Sainz hasn't pitted yet, also started on the hard tyre. Stroll hasn't pitted, started on the hard tyre. And Tsunoda then, he's the only car that started on the medium tyre that hasn't pitted yet. So he's now put in a grand total of, hang on, it's Russell versus Sainz, and Russell gets through. Russell on fresher tyres. But not too bad for Sainz's race to be running where he is running, because of course he'll have his pit stop a little bit later, and he should have a bit of fresher medium tire rubber. Okay, and that is Ricciardo getting past Bottas, and Hamilton is behind them both. Okay, and they're just telling Hamilton he's quick. Actually, I think we have that team radio, so we can listen into that now.
Lewis, you've been 2nd quickest car last lap. You're quick.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Oh yes, Toto must be bricking it that he's going to leave the team and join Red Bull. Christian Horner would be laughing for years if that was to happen. Here's a debate for you though. If Hamilton were to move to Red Bull, Tsunoda has pitted. Okay. It was nice whilst it lasted. Yuki Tsunoda, thank you for your service. But now it's back to that man again, Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen leads the race again. Perez is up into 8th. He has the fastest lap. Where will Tsunoda come out? Oh, well, here's a crazy one for you. Tsunoda has come out in 12th place after his pit stop. He's onto the hard tyre now. He'll run to the end more than likely on that hard tyre. But his teammate, Ricciardo, is running in 9th at the moment. 15 laps old though on his hard tyres. That? Yeah, he pitted in lap 7, so Ricciardo pitted in lap 7. Maybe that was when they had to unblock the rip-off from the car. Ricciardo and Bottas still battling away there. And it looks like now Ricciardo has... And that's not Bottas anymore. That is Hamilton that he has for company now. No, it is Bottas. Where's Hamilton gone? What's the gap? 1.1 seconds. Okay, they've cut away from it. Confusing myself here. Sainz is in for his pit stop now, so lap 24. Hard tires on again for Sainz. Okay, he'll be in again. So he's doing a two-stopper. Why did they wait so long to bring him in then? Because he had lost speed on that. That feels like a very bad call from Ferrari, I have to say. That does feel like a very bad call. He's back out in 16th as well. Feels like a bad call. Hard tire. Yes, if you look at the tracker, you can see that Lance Stroll did the exact same thing as well. So he's also doing a two-stopper. Magnussen has had a lap time deleted. And Verstappen has a lap time deleted. Lap 23 for both of them. Track limits. Oh, it's a thing. It's a thing for sure. We saw that during qualifying yesterday. Yeah, the sun is setting here, so we're heading into the nighttime race. Yeah, so back to Red Bull. A hypothetical scenario where Red Bull sign Lewis Hamilton as Max Verstappen's teammate. I don't know that Hamilton wants that or needs that. Does he need that? Okay, he's going to win a few more races. Yeah, we'll give him that much. He will win a few more races. But will he beat Max Verstappen in equal machinery? You know, if we're talking about a 25, 26, 27-year-old Lewis Hamilton, then I say, yeah, he has every chance in the world of beating him. But this is a 30-something. What age is he now? 37, 38-year-old Lewis Hamilton versus an in his prime, at his peak, Max Verstappen. Ooh, you could already make the argument is a better driver than Hamilton. I don't know if he is or isn't, by the way. I'm not trying to be flagrantly controversial here, but Verstappen is certainly talented and one of the better drivers to grace Formula One, much like Hamilton, much like Schumacher, Senna, and Prost. You know, great drivers. Hakkinen. Who did I forget? Rosberg. Well, Rosberg beat them all, didn't he? He beat them all. Gasly complaining again about why they're so slow. That might be this team radio that I have now.
Where are we losing? Why are we so slow?
Okay, Pierre, so we did pick up some damage with that contact with Hamilton, but we are closing on the cars in front.
Closing on the cars in front. But he's a good bit past behind his teammate now. Ocon is running in 11th and Gasly is in 14th. And they've Stroll and Bottas in between. And Stroll, of course, not in a slow car and has fresh, hard tyres. So that will be a tough proposition to get past him. That will be tough. Now, it's been a while actually. I don't know if I've done a rundown during this race. So we have Magnussen now running in 20th place. Sargent is in 19th. Albon is in 18th. It's strange. Both of the Williams don't seem to have the speed here at all. Then we have Zhou in 17th. Sainz 16th. Hülkenberg 15th. Gasly 14th. Bottas 13th. Stroll 12th. Ocon 11th. Top 10, we have Tsunoda in 10th. Ricciardo in 9th. We've Hamilton in 8th, Alonso in 7th, Perez 6th and fastest lap, Piastri 5th, Norris is in 4th, he's 2.8 seconds behind Russell, who's in 3rd, Leclerc's in 2nd, 5.6 seconds behind Verstappen, who leads the race. Lewis Hamilton, fastest car on track, they've just told him again on the team radio, so I need to have a look at his lap times and see. Last time out, he set his personal fastest lap, which was a 1:29.370, which is about 4/10 slower than the fastest lap set by Perez. And 1:18.1s in the first sector. 38. No, he's definitely not the fastest car on track at the moment. Not too bad his speed, but he's not the fastest. Paula asks, who do you want to win? I want Leclerc to win. Straight answer for you, Paula. Leclerc. I'm going for Leclerc to win today's race. Do I think he'll win? No, probably not. It'll probably be Verstappen, but I want Leclerc to win. Now, speaking of Lewis Hamilton, here's his team radio.
Lewis, fastest car on track now.
As I said, I'm skeptical of that. I'm skeptical. Maybe a couple of laps ago he was, but not at this exact moment in time, per my understanding. Boo, 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 boo. What am I trying to do? Trying to see. I changed the camera a little bit. Does that work? That works. That works. Doesn't look like I'm as slouched down in my seat as I should be, or as I am, or as I was. Now, Perez is 0.6 of a second behind Piastri, so I think there will be a battle for fifth. Well, there is a battle for fifth, and what he can do here. Sainz getting past Nico Hülkenberg for 15th place. So Sainz, of course, being let down big time by his qualifying yesterday, qualifying way back in the last 5. Perez still closing in here on Piastri. Oh yes, no. So a good comment here on. Actually, so far comment of the day. Toto means the fastest car on track relative to Russell. Okay. You're the fast. Well, you know, in Lewis Hamilton's world, that could actually work really well. You're the fastest Mercedes on the track. Although Mercedes may not be true. 80. I'm going to check those stats right now. You know, 1:18.0. No, fastest first sector for Russell. 38.4. 38. 5. Russell is going faster at the moment as well. So not even that would be true right now. Not even that. Now, so there's Verstappen, as we can see, who's kind of off on his own at the moment. Nobody around him. Magnussen is a long way away for him to be lapping, so he's not coming close to him yet. And then it's Leclerc, Russell, and Norris, who are battling pretty much for second place now, I would say. It's more Russell and Leclerc actually battling for second place at this moment in time. Who is it? We are seeing Stroll and Ricciardo are running quite close to each other. And speaking of Ricciardo, we do have a team radio to listen to here.
On Daniel, we believe Stroll, who we are fighting, still have to stop again.
So Stroll is who they're fighting. Yeah. So Ricciardo will probably have to stop again. He's 21 laps into his hard tires now. He only did 7 laps on the medium tires. There goes Stroll. Now he's just overtaken him as well. Just overtaken him. Yep. Perhaps Toto told Lewis he was the quickest when Lewis Hamilton was on the straight. Well, as long as no other car was on the straight at that moment in time, that works. Yeah, it's weird. I do sense there's a real lack of motivation on the Hamilton side at the moment. You can kind of see that. You know, when Hamilton is big up on motivation, you see he's running in the top 5 usually, but he's languishing. In around 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th today. He has struggled somewhat in this race. And this is a track usually he goes quite well at. Even the infamous 2021 Grand Prix, Hamilton was the fastest car for 99% of that race, you could argue. Maybe 98% of that race, you could argue. It was really just, at the end, I'll say something controversial. Okay, so the way they went about handling that with the back markers and everything, of course, yeah, it doesn't feel right the way they did that. But Verstappen still pitted for fresh tires behind the safety car, whereas Mercedes decided not to do that. And for me, when you break it down, that was the winning and losing. That was the winning and losing. It took all the guesswork out of it. Whatever the FIA wanted to do with releasing cars and everything else, it wouldn't have mattered. If Hamilton was on fresh tyres, then he would have had a straight battle with Verstappen and probably would have been faster. Even on his extremely used tyres, he was pushing Verstappen right up to the very end. I did think that Hamilton was going to actually come back against him. But, it's here we are 2 years later, and I still feel unsafe to say something like that. But it was a weird one, wasn't it? It was a weird one. Hard to believe that was 2 years ago at this stage. In some senses, it feels like longer ago even. And in others, it's like time flies. Time flies. We've had the third, that will be now, we're on our third Max Verstappen championship since that moment in time, because that's essentially where Max Verstappen won the championship. Literally, it's where he won the championship. Now, lap 31 out of 58. So actually, we've only 17 laps left of the 2023 season. And I remember last time out, I had speculated that this race might be cancelled because of the troubles in the Middle East at the moment. But no, there didn't seem to be any question of that happening. And thankfully, there is a ceasefire at the moment as well over in the Gaza Strip. Predictability went out the window that day. It did. It really went out the window that day. Two big flashpoints to that season. There were more than two, but the two biggest flashpoints, of course, were what happened at the end of that Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and of course then the big incident between Hamilton and Verstappen at the British Grand Prix that year, where Hamilton put Verstappen in the wall, or Verstappen put himself in the wall, depending on who you want to believe. But regardless, if that incident were to happen any other time, it would be the driver in the Hamilton position would be penalised. But Hamilton was penalised. If I remember correctly, Hamilton was penalised for that. He received a 5 or 10 second penalty or something like that. And it was Leclerc pushing him for the race win that day, British Grand Prix. But that was that was an interesting point in the season, because Verstappen had been leading the championship by it was over 20 points at least at that point in time, until the incident that kind of turned around Hamilton's season, and then Hamilton was stronger. The second half of that season, the Mercedes got on top of the Red Bull by far, I would say. So yeah. Predictability absolutely went out the window that day in the final race. Ricciardo has pitted again. He is now on the hard tyre again, and he's back out in 18th place. Magnussen 20th, Bottas 19th, Ricciardo 18th, Sargent 17th, Zhou 16th, Albon 15th, Hülkenberg 14th, Sainz 13th, Gasly 12th, Ocon 11th, Stroll 10th, Tsunoda 9th, Hamilton 8th, Alonso 7th, Piastri then in 6th, Perez is in 5th, Norris 4th, Russell 3rd, Leclerc is 2nd, and Verstappen is in 1st. And the gaps are interesting. 7.9, so basically 8 seconds now is the gap between Verstappen and Leclerc, 1st and 2nd. And then Russell is 1.999 seconds behind Leclerc. Norris then 2.7 behind Russell. Perez is 2.8 behind Norris. Piastri is 4.5 behind Perez. Alonso 1.7 behind Piastri. We see Gasly is back into the pit lane. So Gasly now trying to undercut this time out on his teammate. We'll see how that one works out for him. So I'm guessing Gasly will be onto the hard tyre to finish the race. We should get that confirmed now in a second. Yeah, it looks like he's onto the hard tyre. Yeah, he is indeed. Hard tyre for Gasly. The Italian race was a car parking nightmare. Yes, it was. It was a car parking nightmare. Trying to remember the exact specifics of that. I think, wasn't that the one where they all delayed each other during qualifying? And I'm trying to remember which was the race where maybe it was the Italian Grand Prix, which was the one where Hamilton finished up on top of Verstappen's car. I think that could have been the Italian Grand Prix in itself as well. So yeah, love the Italian Grand Prix though. Really love the atmosphere of the Italian Grand Prix. You know, talk about a negative atmosphere at the Las Vegas Grand Prix. You get a real traditional Formula One feel, I find, anytime the Italian Grand Prix is on. You know, it's the history, it's the excitement, it's all there for the Italian Grand Prix, and a very fast circuit to go with it as well. Very fast. Now, George Russell. Let's hear what he has to say.
You sure we can't make the one stop work? That's reasonable.
We've got a long way to go. It's 24 to go into this lap.
24 to go, including this lap. Yeah, clearly I got my calculations wrong earlier when I said there were only 17 laps left. I of course meant 27 laps. 27. Yes. Yes, that's one way to put it on. That's one way to put it. It's on the screen. Everybody can read that one if they want. That was a very interesting parking position to take up for sure. It wasn't Hamilton that finished on top of Verstappen. It was the other way around, wasn't it? It was Verstappen's car finished on top of Hamilton. So I remember the very famous photograph of Hamilton's helmet being almost squashed down underneath the car. Thank goodness for the halo, because that another one of those simple innocuous incidents that could have been so much different if we didn't have the halo. Russell has pitted. He's coming back out into 8th. Looks like he'll be back out in 8th. Where is Stroll? He's come back out in 9th. So he's behind Stroll, but he's ahead of Norris, who's also pitted again. So the two-stopper seems to be the way to go today. It seemed like most cars were going to be doing the one-stopper. It was fairly obvious though with Norris because he was running 2 stints on the hard tyre, so he was definitely coming in again. Not sure how I didn't notice that. I noticed Stroll and Sainz were doing that, but never noticed that was the plan for Norris. No, Norris started on the medium tyre. That's why I never noticed. His second stint on hard is now. So yeah, didn't see the two-stopper coming at all from McLaren. Will they have speed towards the end of the race then? Now, the big question is, will Ferrari pit? Will they pit? Box is the message that they've just given to Leclerc. So it's possible that they are going to pit. Okay, Leclerc is in. That is the hard tyre by the looks of it. So he did 17 laps on those medium tyres. Perez up into second place. Perez is into second place. 17 laps on his medium tyre. So Perez will definitely have to pit again, I would imagine. Just looking at the trends at the moment, Hamilton is in for the pits as well. So it seems like everybody has decided it is a two-stopper race, not a one-stopper race today. That's the way to do it. There is Leclerc back out in 6th place, and he has Stroll just behind him now. Stroll under big pressure from George Russell is 0.3 of a second, the gap between them. So now all of a sudden we have a lot of racing going on here on the circuit. Norris then is behind both of them. So Norris has really lost out on the pits. And we have Ocon coming around then behind them and Sainz. So that is providing parity in a sense. Well, no, Sainz will have to pit again. Sainz has had 2 stints on the hard tyre. So he will have to pit again here. He will indeed. Okay. Very interesting message here from Max Verstappen.
You can circle ahead of me if you want.
Understood, Max.
Okay, Max Verstappen not at all worried about his teammate. Clearly not. Part of me even makes me wonder if Verstappen just doesn't want Perez to lead for a couple of laps. Speaking of leading for a couple of laps, where's Tsunoda at the moment? Tsunoda is running in 5th place. He's 1.6 seconds behind Alonso. So Piastri has pitted and Alonso is into the pits now as well. So that's Tsunoda actually back up to 3rd place. Are we going to do it again? Are we going to get Yuki Tsunoda leading the race again? He probably will be on the one-stopper. I know he won't. He has put in 14, well, only 14 laps so far on those hard tires because he did pit late. He did pit late last time out. Could he possibly come in and put on a soft tire at the end? Abu Dhabi Grand Prix so far. Nothing significant or important happened. Yeah, it does feel a little bit like so-so, not tons going on. Though there's Hamilton now. He has overtaken Alonso. Is it Alonso? Yeah, Alonso on the colder tires. So Hamilton takes advantage of that situation there. Okay. Well. Alonso won't be happy about that. It looks like he's staying in touch with him, so he is going to try to fight back somewhat. Now here's on board with Charles Leclerc, and he is closing in actually on Yuki Tsunoda, 0.6 of a second now, so we may not see Tsunoda back in the lead of the race. This is crazy. Alonso saying they had the slowest car on the street by far. Oh, this is probably him now.
We have the slowest car on the street, by far.
And here goes Leclerc now. Easy move on Tsunoda. That gets Leclerc up into 3rd place. And that probably means we won't see Tsunoda back in the lead of this race, even if Perez and Verstappen both pit. Kimi asks, did Max just offer the lead to Checo? I don't think he did, actually. I think he offered that Checo pits before he does. So he actually wouldn't get the lead. Unless, and this is possible, Kimi, unless with the delay that I have on my side, you've heard something I haven't heard yet. Ooh, spoiler alert, if that is the case. That would be interesting. Why would he do that? So many records on offer. I suppose the Red Bull winning 21 races this season record wouldn't go away if he would get it. Here's the replay now of Hamilton on Alonso. Hamilton claiming that Alonso brake tested him. I really don't think that's the case. I don't know that's the case, but it doesn't seem like that would be a smart thing for Alonso to do. But he was just out of the pits on cold tires, so he possibly just needed to brake a lot earlier than Hamilton. Otherwise, risk just running straight on in the corner. And we've just seen the move there where Alonso has overtaken Hamilton again. Now, Russell has overtaken Yuki Tsunoda. The gap now between Perez and Leclerc is 14 seconds, and between Perez and Verstappen is 16 seconds. So that's 30 seconds between Leclerc and Verstappen. Verstappen can easily make a pit stop again if he wants to. The incident involving Alonso and Hamilton has been noted for driving erratically. So Hamilton might be onto something here. He might well be onto something. I know it's very easy for me to always dismiss everything that Hamilton says, but it just... Why would Alonso do that? But it'll be in the data, anyway. It'll be in the data. It'll be a very easy one for the FIA to figure out this one. And they're looking into it, apparently. So I'm intrigued. It looks like Ricardo might have pitted again, has he? No, he hasn't. Maybe somebody around him has. Ricardo has just overtaken Sargent. Okay. Piastri and Sainz both getting past Ocon after he locked up into one of the corners there. That a very bad day at the office for Ocon when something like that happens. And now Ocon is going to have Alonso and Hamilton coming up behind him. Well, he's just over 3 seconds behind him. There's no real battles on the track at the moment. Sargent is half a second behind Gasly, but Gasly did just get past him. So I don't know if that's a case of Gasly is going to gap him a bit now. Yet that gap is getting bigger as I'm speaking. It's up to 9/10 of a second, and it'll soon be over a second, which will put him out of DRS range. He clearly has DRS right now, though, because it's just dropped back down to 5/10 of a second. Love watching the data. Love watching the data, don't we? On board here with Lando Norris, currently running in 6th place, 1.2 seconds behind Yuki Tsunoda. Tsunoda will probably pit again, although he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to if he doesn't want to. If he is doing a 2-stopper, then running so deep into the first stint was probably a mistake. Team radio then for George Russell.
How is Lewis getting on?
Yeah, he's doing a good job at the moment. He's having a fight of his own.
What does that mean? How are we doing in the championship? Are we good?
All we can do is the best race that we can do. We're fine at the moment.
Wow, talk about skipping the question. Skipping the question. Let's talk championship for a moment. I'm looking at a live how it stands table. Okay, nobody's going to be super surprised about this, but Max Verstappen is going to win the World Championship. So let's just get that out of the way first. Perez is going to come second on 291 points. So Max Verstappen 574 points as it stands right now. If things were to finish the way they are. Hamilton then 232 points. He's in 3rd place in the championship. And Norris would take 4th right now. Leclerc would take 5th. And Sainz then would drop down to 6th from 4th if everything were to finish the way it is at the moment. So this is where all of the battles are. Alonso would drop down to 7th from 5th, so he has losing big time here as well if things finish the way they are. And then Russell 8th, Piastri 9th, Stroll 10th, Gasly 11th, Ocon 12th. So nothing really is changing there on any of those right now. But the Ocon versus Gasly is an interesting one. So Gasly now is up into 10th place. So he will be getting a point. Ocon and Gasly there's 3 points between them, so that is potentially the inter-teammate battle. That's a huge fight between these two. So 3 points in it. Gasly leading his teammate at the moment by 3 points, but that'll be down to 2 points now with Ocon running in 10th place. Now the constructors is the one we want to know about. Right now in the Constructors' Championship, as it stands, with Leclerc running in 3rd place, that puts... okay, so Red Bull have won the Constructors. They're on 855 points. This is Perez. Perez is into the pits. Hard tires are on. That was a very fast stop, 2.2 seconds. 855 points then at this moment for Red Bull. That might change a little bit now with Leclerc moving up into 2nd place, so maybe I need to come back to that. Yeah, let me come back to this in a minute once they settle out the stats with Leclerc running in 2nd. Perez will come back out in 4th place now. Okay, so Verstappen leads. Leclerc is in 2nd, and Verstappen gets the call, box. So they're asking him to pit next time around. The gap is 28 seconds between Verstappen and Leclerc. So I think Verstappen should be quite comfortably back out in front of Leclerc. Incident involving car 44. Hamilton noted a pit stop infringement. What has Lewis done during the pit stop? I guess, well, a pit stop infringement is usually a slam dunk because it means we're either speeding or an unsafe release. Here's Verstappen. That's a 2.3 seconds. Oh, he's lost a tenth of a second to his teammate. Can you believe that? Can you believe it? Red Bull favoritizing, giving favor to Perez over Max Verstappen. Now, Verstappen coming back out. Leclerc is just going over the start-finish line as we speak. So that will be a gap of about, I'm guessing this will be about 8 seconds. Let's see now when they come around exactly what it is. It's a gap of 5.3 seconds, they're telling us. Okay, so not so bad. Now, can Leclerc put on a final push in the last 14 laps and try and catch Verstappen? I doubt it. I doubt it, to be perfectly honest. But it would be an exciting end to the season if he could do something like that. This is the moment, Ferrari. Change the mapping. Off we go. Full speed ahead. Don't worry about reliability. 14 laps. If the engine can't take 14 laps, then it shouldn't be in your car. Perez is in 5th. Tsunoda is in 6th. Did Tsunoda pit again? No, he didn't pit again. He's 3 seconds now ahead of Piastri. So if Tsunoda pits again, he's going to drop dramatically down the field, possibly behind his teammate Ricciardo, who's currently running in 13th place. Then team radio here for Max Verstappen.
Downstairs are pushing a lot. Could we do something there or not?
Yep, stand by.
So he doesn't want to be pushing. He just wants to win the race at this point. Oh, it's the downshifts he was talking about that are pushing a lot. Can we do something there or not? Could you imagine if he finally had some kind of reliability issue on the last race of the season? It'll be a little bit of a shame for his records, but it'd be good news for Leclerc. Leclerc has deserved a race win this season, especially after his race last weekend. He was very good last weekend. Alonso is closing in on Sainz big time now. It's about 0.4 of a second, the gap between them. You can see how close he's getting under DRS here. So Alonso putting him under big pressure. Alonso has these 9-lap-old hard tires. Sainz's tires are 21 laps old. 21 laps old. Here he goes now. Here's the move by Alonso. He'll try around the outside. That's probably not going to work for him. Oh, and Sainz takes the inside line and he holds on to the position. Alonso has to drop back and wait for his next chance. And then Leclerc. 2 strikes for track limits for Leclerc. And he says, yeah, I know. Actually, I don't need to preempt it. Here we go.
And just a reminder, we have 2 strikes for track limits.
Yeah, I know.
Understood.
Okay, understood. Understood. Just don't do it again, Charles. Don't do it again. 7 seconds now, the gap. So Hamilton will be investigated after the race for his pit stop infringement. Don't know what he did. No idea what he did. Sky Sports speculating about how he could have crossed a white line where he shouldn't have crossed a white line. So it's not as easy as catching him for speeding by the sounds of it. Now Alonso, this time, it looks a lot better for the move on Sainz. And yeah, I think he's got it done. Sainz is coming straight back at him here, though. No, he won't be able to get back at Alonso. Alonso holds on to the position. So that's moved Alonso up into 8th place. Now Sainz is down into 9th, so he's running in the points. And he's got Lewis Hamilton then 0.7 of a second behind him. So Hamilton is coming for Sainz next. Hamilton and Sainz both have DRS at the moment. Verstappen, display tree position 7 will fix the downshift. So they've told him what to do there to fix the issues that he's having with downshifts. So maybe not a reliability issue, but we'll hear back in a lap or so as to whether or not this is working. If it's not working, who knows what's going on? Who knows what's going on at all? Norris running in 4th. Perez is in 5th. Perez is 0.6 of a second behind him. Now, so things all of a sudden have gotten very interesting. We have Russell running in third, Hamilton running in 10th in the points. We have Leclerc running in second, and Sainz is running in ninth. So this is where it becomes really critical for Hamilton to try and get past Sainz. As it stands right now in the championship, Mercedes are in second place on 409 points. Ferrari are in third on 407 points. Oh, Perez and Norris have had contact here, tire to tire, so it doesn't look like there's any damage, but Norris got pushed off the track and cut across the chicane to retain his position, I should say. And here's Sainz and Hamilton right now. So, I dare say for Sainz, it would be better if Hamilton went out of the race rather than for him to get past Sainz. 2 points is if it were to finish the way it is at the moment. Oh, Sainz fighting back. No, Hamilton will get the move done. Hamilton gets the move done, and that's him up a position. So that should be a further 2 point swing if my maths are correct on this one. That should make Mercedes now on 411 points and Ferrari on... Well, we'll see. I'll let them do the math. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so they're going to investigate the incident between Norris and Perez. He just turned into me, says Perez. We do have the team radio for Lando Norris, so it's good to hear his perspective on this.
Yeah, but that's just dangerous driving. He had loads of space.
Now here's Perez trying to do the move again down the inside, and he's got it done. So he's true. It's a lot cleaner this time. I really don't think anything is going to come out of that last move in terms of penalties or anything like that. Norris is saying he was dangerous. Perez is saying that Norris turned in on him. It did look like Norris had enough space. He did leave a car's width, so hard to know. Norris is fighting back here. Can't get it done there. So yeah, they're still under investigation, so we'll see how that one turns out. Hopefully there are no post-race penalties applied to anybody here, because that's just ridiculous sometimes when they can do that during the race. That's not what you want for the last race of the season either. 8 seconds is the gap between Verstappen and Leclerc. Russell then 3 seconds behind Leclerc in third. Perez is 4.4 seconds behind Russell, and Norris is 1.2 seconds behind Perez. Piastri 6 seconds behind his teammate Tsunoda, 1 second behind Piastri. Tsunoda still to pit again, actually, by the looks of it. .409, 407 seconds. Points is what they're still telling us on the live constructors standings, but I have a suspicion that is not quite as live as we think it is, but find out soon. So they're still saying it's 2 points the gap now between Mercedes and Ferrari as we're heading into the last 9 laps of the championship. So this is very tight for second place in the championship, and I don't want to offend anyone, but I'm 100% going for Ferrari to finish second in the championship ahead of Mercedes. But it's not going my way at the moment. Not going my way. It is definitely, most definitely, I would say it is Mercedes. Leclerc is in second, and Leclerc second, Russell third, and then we have Hamilton in ninth and Sainz in 10th. And that's just about giving enough points to Mercedes at the moment to take second in the championship, which I'm very unhappy about, as I keep saying. But, it's not the championship. It's not the main constructors, That's been settled a long time ago by Red Bull. Having slight issues with my stream here. I'm going to switch back over to the Formula 1. Just had to switch over to ladies golf for a second to see if I could get everything to buffer again. Yeah, we're back. So now lap 50 of 58. And here's a battle between Lance Stroll and Esteban Ocon for 11th place right now. Probably need to do a rundown of the order again just to keep us all sane. So Magnussen is in 20th and last place at the moment. He's about 3.5 seconds behind Sargent, who's running in 19th. Bottas is running in 18th. Joe is running in 17th. Hülkenberg 16th. Albon is 15th. Gasly 14th. Ricciardo 13th. Ocon is 12th. Stroll is in 11th. Sainz 10th. Hamilton 9th. Alonso 8th. Tsunoda 7th. Piastri 6th. Norris 5th. Perez then is in 4th. Russell 3rd. Leclerc 2nd. And Verstappen leads the race. And Verstappen also has the fastest lap of the race. We have an interesting team radio coming in here for Charles Leclerc. So let's listen into this one.
Yeah, let me know how much is the gap between Perez and Russell, so maybe we can make them fight a bit more. Because yeah, if we see that we are not second in the constructors.
Understood.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's really what it comes down to. So he's going to have to back up Russell into Perez to try and gain those points, because Sainz, what can Sainz do? Sainz has only pitted once. His tires are 27 laps old, so he has no hope now of catching Hamilton. I would say he's now dropped to 5 seconds behind Hamilton, 3 seconds ahead of Stroll. So he's going to have to hang on for 10th place as best that he can. And 1 point seems to be the maximum that Sainz is going to be able to do here. If he pits now, he's going to lose way too many positions. Let's look for him on tracker. So he'll be at least, he'll be behind Gasly. He's possibly going to be behind Albon if he pits. So there's no opportunity here. Russell, I saw there was a Russell team radio going on there. Who is the favorite for third in the Drivers' Championship? Good question, on third for the Drivers' Championship is, it's Hamilton. Hamilton is going to get third in the Drivers' Championship because, of course, he was pushing for second up to the last race, and Perez just beat him for that. Leclerc is on 206 points in fourth, and Hamilton is on 234 points in third, as it stands right now. But I don't think Leclerc can catch Hamilton at all. No, he definitely can't catch Hamilton. So in the constructors then, it's McLaren are on 302 points in fourth, then Ferrari on 407 points, Mercedes on 409 points as it stands. Why are we given the penalty? I was ahead. 5 second penalty for Perez. Oh, this is huge. This is absolutely huge for Mercedes. I think that was a harsh penalty. Maybe I'm a little bit biased now because I didn't want Mercedes to beat Ferrari, but 5 second penalty now given to Perez. That just about sums up Perez's season, really, doesn't it? So he will be, he'll be behind Norris right now if things were to finish the way they are. So he needs to gap Norris by more than 5 seconds in order to retain fourth place. But this now is Russell pretty damn safe, I would say. Russell is pretty safe in his position. I think that's it. I think that's it for Mercedes now. They're going to take second place in the championship as it stands. Let me see, 17 points. 17 points, yeah. Now, on board here with Ricciardo. So what's going on with Ricciardo? He gets past Ocon. Ocon down to 13th. Gasly's running in 14th. 3 points between both of those drivers as well, but they're not running in the points at the moment. So I think Gasly is going to finish ahead of his teammate, which is critical. Leclerc is going to beat his teammate Sainz in the Drivers' Championship as well, which didn't look likely until probably the last race, Las Vegas, that he could actually maybe catch his teammate. And now with Sainz down in 10th place, I don't see him getting any higher than that because, the attrition rate during this race has been pretty much zero. Every car is still running, basically. That should be that. So this is Whew, this is turning into a bit of a damp squib, I'm afraid. Their season is just petering out. It's just petering out. There's no excitement. What a difference 2 years can make. What a difference 2 years can make. So a 5-second penalty for Perez pretty much finishes the season as we know it. All the excitement is gone. Formula 1 can be vastly unpredictable, of course, but I'm not seeing right now where the excitement comes from. Now, Perez has closed in on Russell, so he's 0.8 of a second behind Russell. So he's clearly, he's got the hurry up. He knows what he needs to do. Here's the scenario for you. So Perez to overtake Russell, and then Leclerc to let Perez past him. And then it's crazy. And slow down Russell so that the gap is nearly 5 seconds. So that Perez would finish behind Leclerc, but ahead of Russell. This would be, talk about fine-tuning a strategy. This would be a really, really tough one for them to try and pull off this one. Really tough. Really, really tough. But actually, this is exactly what needs to happen. So Perez now is up into third place. Russell is 1 second behind him. Perez is 3.9, so almost 4 seconds, 3.8, almost 4 seconds behind Leclerc. Oh my God, that puts Ferrari into second in the championship on 407 points. Mercedes on 406. But Perez is going to be penalized by 5 seconds here. So it's artificial. It's artificial as it appears at the moment. We have a little bit of uncertainty creeping in here just with the gap between Perez and Russell. But it's 1.5 seconds. That's the gap. And that gap needs to become more. It needs to become 5 seconds or more in order for Ferrari to finish second in the championship. And now here's another variable coming into play because Stroll is putting Sainz under big pressure here. 0.2 of a second now, the gap between them. And that'll be another point lost by Ferrari if this happens. And that puts them both on 406 points if that happens. This is going down to the wire, but at this moment in time, I would say it does favor Mercedes. 1.8 seconds now, the gap between Perez and Russell, so still favoring Mercedes right now. This is all going to play out on the timing screens, not necessarily on track. Now, Stroll can get past Sainz, so this part at least will play out on the track. 0.6 of a second. Sainz keeps Stroll behind for the last 4 laps. Last 3 laps, I should say. So we're on lap 56 of 58 now. So only 3 laps to go in the 2023 championship. It hasn't been the most exciting championship ever, especially with the Red Bull dominance. But we've had some good races this season, some good races. And we've had some okay races and some not so okay races. There's the Ferrari pit crew. What do they have up their sleeves? Well, at this moment, absolutely nothing. They've done everything they can. Ferrari, the pit crew, and the strategists better this season than last season, I think. Box. Sainz has been asked to box. Sainz has been asked to box. Alonso, let me see. Alonso has overtaken Tsunoda. And that's important because that means Alonso now is back up into 4th in the championship. So ahead of Leclerc on 206 points. So by virtue of having, is it more podiums? Oh, Leclerc. So Leclerc's dropped to 6th now in the championship. 6th in the championship for Leclerc, with Alonso in 4th. Now, yeah, so Leclerc is very seriously considering dropping back to give Perez DRS here. It's a no-lose situation for Perez. Great. Give me all the DRS. Off you go. Off you go. Sainz has pitted. They put him back out on the soft tyre. Okay, and so the reason they're doing that is to cover off the possibility of a Mercedes getting the fastest lap. I don't think that was going to happen as it is, because Verstappen has the fastest lap. It takes away a point from Red Bull. That won't matter. It means nothing really to them. Perez is up into 2nd, so Leclerc has slowed down and let Perez up into 2nd place. Now, what is the gap? The gap is 3 seconds. The gap is 3 seconds between Leclerc and Russell. Perez is off. Perez is off now. So Russell is still, he's still doing it here. Russell is still doing it. So the Constructors' Championship is still going to Mercedes as it stands at the moment. We're on lap 58. It's just over 3 seconds. It's going on 4 seconds now, the gap. And here comes Verstappen to win the race. Verstappen wins. Look at that. Very nice fireworks. Very, very nice fireworks. Now Leclerc needs to do something here. He needs to do something. Perez will be coming around here to take 3rd place, I would say. 2nd place, but he doesn't have 5 seconds on Leclerc. Leclerc takes 3rd place and Russell takes 4th place. So that's it. So Perez will finish in 4th, I think, by the looks of it. Just waiting for the timing screen to be updated here to see where Perez really has finished. Didn't bother with driver of the day today. I can't pick anyone to be driver of the day today. It was a meh race, wasn't it? It was a meh race today. No major winners or losers, I think. Ricciardo actually up 4 positions from the start of the race. There you go. Driver of the day, Daniel Ricciardo. Hamilton overtook Tsunoda, but Tsunoda got him back. So Tsunoda has finished in 8th place. Tsunoda was good today. Tsunoda was good. Okay, they've updated the tracker, and you see, so Verstappen, of course, wins. Leclerc is in 2nd. Russell then is in 3rd place. And Perez is in 4th place. That means it's 2nd place in the championship for Mercedes. So it's confirmed. Mercedes have 2nd place in the championship on 409 points. Ferrari have 3rd on 406 points. And Sainz didn't take the fastest lap. Sainz is out of the race. He's retired the car. Sainz has retired the car. He's out of the race. Driver of the day, Leclerc, if he keeps 2nd place. He doesn't. Well, he's second on the listings, on the drivers' listings, but he's not second anywhere else. So it's Mercedes. Mercedes have 2nd in the drivers' championship. Can I? Let me see. I should be able to bring this up on the screen. If I still have it here. I'm just checking through my list of options here. Yeah. Don't worry about race control. I'll get rid of that. So this is the Drivers' Championship that we're looking at on the very right-hand side here. You can see, so Verstappen, of course, wins the championship. Perez is in second. Hamilton is in third. Then it's Alonso gets fourth place on 206 points. Leclerc is in fifth on 206 points as well. Norris is in sixth on 205 points. And Sainz is the big loser, dropping down to seventh on 200 points. Amazing. So Alonso gets fourth place in the championship. Leclerc fifth, Norris sixth, Sainz seventh. Russell finishes in 8th, Piastri is 9th, and Stroll is in 10th. Good first season for Piastri, I guess. We're going to see the donuts, the burnouts here coming from the Red Bull. Yeah, here goes Verstappen with the donuts. Team won't be happy about that, but you know, those engines are done for this season. Let him off. It's a good spectacle. So he's currently doing some donuts there. Now, constructors. Here's what the constructors looks like. It's 860 points for Red Bull. So they are the constructors champions. Mercedes then second place, 409 points. Ferrari are in third on 406 points. So several millions of dollars won and lost out there on the track today between Mercedes and Ferrari. That was very tight. That was very, very tight. McLaren are fourth. Aston Martin then are in fifth, so they finished 22 points behind McLaren. McLaren having a good end of season. I must go back and look at my pre-season predictions as well to see how they played out relative to the actual finishing positions. I think that will be interesting. Maybe I can do that next week or the week after, considering there's no Formula 1 left until March again. March, when we have our next race. Wow. What a journey it's been. Thank you very much to everybody for your support as well this season. I've really enjoyed your inputs. Oh, wait, I've disappeared. Turned off the wrong camera. Sorry about that. But as I was saying, really appreciate all the inputs from everybody. It's been great to have your support. Please, as ever, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell as well if you want to be notified of future videos, and whatever the equivalent of that is on the platform you're watching us on. Of course, we're broadcasting on X, on Facebook, on Twitch, and on YouTube. So thank you as ever for the support. Kimmy says, if the stewards are investigating Lewis for the pit lane violation, does it mean that places could be changed? Well, that's a good point. So Hamilton 9th, 2 points, and it was a grand total of it's 3 points difference. It's 3 points difference. So you could actually say that they've lost. Ferrari have lost by pitting Sainz. He was running in 10th. Now I know he was only half a second ahead of Stroll, but he could have held on. He could have. Stranger things have happened. So that could actually just bring it down to 1 point. 1 point. Now, we do have a team radio for Max Verstappen, who, of course, won the race. We shouldn't forget that.
All missions complete. What a year. Well done, my friend.
Wow, another unbelievable race, guys. Very, very lovely. And we did it, GP. Mission 8.
Yeah, Max, you have been absolutely mighty this year. 19 victories. You've led over 1,000 laps. You've smashed it out the park. It has been an absolute privilege watching you drive this car that's been built by a team of brilliant people, and we're all incredibly proud of you, and it's a very, very special in-lap, so take it in, enjoy every moment, and enjoy this last bit of RB19.
Yeah, well worded there, Christian. I mean, what an unbelievable year. So let's say thank you to everyone. I also want to say a quick thank you to Franz Tost. He had a lot of us under his wings, and this was his last race. So
that was quite a team radio. Very nice to get a conclusion to the season like that, listening to them talking. Enjoy the last of RB19. RB19. What a car. My goodness. Like, all the boring races we've had to put up with Max Verstappen running away with the race victory. Let's not forget what a car that was. What a car, and what a drive from Max Verstappen. Will Perez be his teammate next season? I still would question that, seriously. I would still question that. Kimmy says, thank you, Victor. Have a great festive season. Hope to see you again in 2024. And likewise, Kimmy, very happy holidays to everybody. Isn't that the non-offensive way of putting it these days? Bye, gang. Take care and be well. Paula asks, who is in second place? Well, Leclerc has finished second in the race. And in the championship, it's Perez is second. And in the Constructors' Championship, so the Team Championship, Mercedes have second place. They're interviewing George Russell at the moment. He's quite happy. Here's a quote actually from George Russell. It means a huge amount to secure P2. It's been a really challenging season. I've let the team down a couple of times this season, so it was nice to contribute. I thought Charles was going to back me up, but credit to him for keeping it clean. It was really tense at the end. The tires were dropping off. Massive relief to have the car home in P3. Can't believe it's only the second podium of the year. Yeah, that's crazy. That's only his second podium of the year. Okay, Leclerc is being interviewed now. Okay, 2023. Max Verstappen is your champion. Red Bull is your Constructors' champion. Very fitting that I wore the Red Bull t-shirt today for the last race of the season as well. I think just a testament to how good Red Bull have been this season. Really hopeful next season that we're going to have some very close racing with McLaren, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, even Aston Martin. They've looked good at the beginning of this season, so we know they can do something if they keep the investment there, they keep the finger on the pulse. I'm hoping for something good. It will be fantastic to have a really, really close championship next year. Will we get it? That remains to be seen. But, here's hoping for 2024. Thank you very much, everybody who joined us this season. I might be posting random videos here and there on different topics that come up. For example, if there's breaking news on the Red Bull driver situation, if they decide on Logan Sargent's position, Lewis Hamilton joins Ferrari, anything can happen. In Formula 1. Let's not forget what happened when Rosberg won the championship a few years ago and then he retired. Strange things happen in Formula 1. As ever, have a great rest of your day, and we'll speak to you very,